Welcome back, everybody. Kyle Bazzi here, president of Benzinga.com with the Benzinga Fintech Awards. We're looking for the most innovative products, people, and companies that are setting out to create you wealth. That's what Fintech's all about. Up next, we have founder and CEO of StockRover, Howard Reisman. Howard, good morning.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here, man. Now, StockRover, I've known about for a while because some of the traders and portfolio managers in my office actually use StockRover before we actually had talked. So very cool to see it hitting the Detroit office here in Benzinga. Let's get a little background on the company, and what does StockRover actually do?
Sure. We started about 5 years ago, and the idea came basically from my own needs as an individual investor. I mean, I'm a software engineer. I had a software company. I did investing on the side, and I would do a lot of analysis on companies and found a lot of the tools available, both from the brokerage houses as well as a lot of the websites, to be lacking. That the research was very hard to do. It was not repeatable. It was slow and cumbersome, and I felt there had to be a better way. So I started to, as software engineers, I started working with another guy who had similar feelings about it, Andrew Martin, who's a co-founder, and together we started to develop kind of the notion of bringing a lot of data into a big database and then doing a lot of crunching on it to get a lot of good comparative information to make better investment decisions. So that was the seed of the idea. Then what happened is I started thinking, if we put a nice user interface on this thing, this could be a great tool for a lot of investors, because I think it's really missing in the marketplace. So that was really how the notion started. It came from our own needs.
All right, that's the best innovation, right? Out of necessity for yourself. So let's walk through the platform real quick. When you say that they're using the platform for portfolio manager or whatever, walk us through what a user could expect coming to StockRover.
Right. When they log into StockRover, they get kind of what we call a user interface. It's more like a development environment. When in the development world, we have something called IDEs, which are basically fixed panel, more complex screens that really have a lot of information and very easy to manipulate. We decided to take that paradigm to the financial world. So they'll come in and they'll have basically an initial setup where they can start researching stocks immediately, or they can import their portfolios or watch lists and kind of start tailoring StockRover for their needs. But basically, it's just a setup where it's very simple for them to start comparing and seeing data for many different kinds of investments relative to each other, which is hard to do in a lot of other websites, basically.
So ease of use is obviously something that's very big in this industry and hard to accomplish. And it's funny, I was watching your intro video or your explanation video, the cute little 90-second spot, and the actor went to Google Finance, and that's exactly what I did this morning. So tell me, how can you help me with my, the basket of my stocks, what I'm looking for, what I'm looking at, what makes it so easy, and how have you guys accomplished that?
Well, I think one of the problems with the websites that are out on that are available to most investors is that they tend to think of the one stock. You put in a ticker, you get a bunch of information about it. You might see a couple of peers, but it's very difficult to compare that stock against its industry or against many other stocks that are either its peers or different kinds of stocks across many different factors, such as price performance, operational performance, kind of growth of dividends, financial risk. So we make it very easy to take that one stock and compare it many different ways against many different competing investments, because at the end of the day, it's not about investing in one stock. It's about really finding where your money is going to be treated best. And if you decide it's company ABC, well, you should be looking at a bunch of other companies to make sure that ABC, in your view, is really going to be the best place to allocate your money. And I think we do a really good job of that, and making it clear that when you finally make your decision, that you've really looked at all the competition and you feel that this is, in fact, given all the factors that matter to you, the way to go.
So pretty much I got my platform. I can customize it from almost any data point that's in the company financials, balance sheet, income statement, and then take it from there and compare a list of stocks that are currently in my portfolio, or can I also find other opportunities maybe through some kind of screener?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. The answer is all of the above. I mean, basically, you can have your own portfolio, which you can import from your brokerage house. You can create a watch list of stocks you're interested in. We have all the index stocks, so if you want to see stocks in the Dow 30, S&P 500. But one of, I think, the most powerful capabilities of the product is the screening. We have the ability to screen a database of 8,000 North American stocks across about 300 factors to basically come up, according to the criteria you care about, stocks that really matter to you. And we have the additional ability to kind of rank the criteria that you're screening against, so if a screener passes, say, 90 stocks, for example, you can rank them from 1 to 90 and see, based on the things you care about, which one is the top stock and second top stock. And so you can really be very efficient in your research process. The screener is also quite powerful. You can do things like you can create equations in it, so you can say, well, I only want companies who are increasing their dividend by 5% a year over the last 3 years, or I only want companies where the payout ratio hasn't increased year to year, or even more exotic factors such as the sales per employee is better this year than last year. So it's really an incredibly powerful screener to help find potential investment opportunities, and that's really the beginning of the investment cycle, I think, for most investors.
I love it. Innovation through simplicity. StockRover, the KISS method. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Given the power of the platform, it's incredibly important to us to engineer it so that the functionality is as simple and as fast as possible for people to use. And I think that's one of the defining characteristics of the product.
All right, so let's talk about the business model real quick. Is it free, and you guys have advertising? Do you charge users for the sign-up? How does that work?
That's a great question. When it first came out, it was free for all, and obviously, that's not a winning business model in the long term. So we've evolved it to a freemium model where there's a basic version that's quite powerful and free. We do put some advertising on it, not a ton, but there's some. And then there's a premium version which costs $200 a year, and it has more advanced capabilities such as portfolio analytics, alerts, so you can be alerted when things are happening, and a whole bunch of capabilities which are defined in the website that are not in the basic product, and it's also ad-free.
All right, we also love to learn about success metrics. How much have you guys grown? Do you look at traffic, subscribers, any numbers you can share with us?
What we look at is really the size of the community and the engagement of the community, and obviously revenue. And all three are growing substantially. The size of the community, which we started building the community about 2.5 years ago from user one, and is over 20,000 right now users. So that's pretty good for research, still, we think, and it's growing. We haven't put a lot of money, honestly, into marketing. The money has really gone into the engineering, and we are going to be rolling out more aggressive marketing over, in the near future. But given right now, its growth has really been via word of mouth, and we're monetizing. We have multiple hundreds of paid users, so we're starting to monetize that as well. And all the metrics are increasing, and our page views have increased dramatically. We used to, probably have, I don't know, 80, 100,000 page views a month. Now we're, getting in the million range. So we're everything is expanding nicely. It's very gratifying.
Awesome. Now I want to start asking more of these questions to a lot of the startup companies. As this fintech space expands and a lot of money has come in, have you guys raised any money, or is this self-funded?
Self-funded at this point.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. Bootstrap is definitely the way to go in the beginning. And then second is, what's the biggest struggle you guys have experienced in the fintech space, either acquiring customers or competition? Is it product fit? What kind of obstacles have you guys seen?
That's been a really good question. That's a good question because there's really multiple answers to it. I think the biggest thing that surprised us is the tool was actually designed for individual investors, because there's a lot of them. There's 20, 30 million in the United States alone, people that like to select and invest in their own stocks, and that was really our target market. We weren't really targeting institutional investors or professional investors, but we found is we've gotten a tremendous number of professional investors using it, which has surprised us, because we figured they had their own tools they would be using, but StockRover apparently fits the bill for them. So that's been both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing. I would never say it's a curse, because it's great to have customers. That's the wrong word. It's a blessing and it's a challenge. The challenge is that it's a much more sophisticated group of investors. So as a result, they'll be asking for much more sophisticated capabilities in the product. So there's a real balance between trying to keep the product simple and understandable, but yet adding power that would be useful to advanced investors so that they can make better decisions. So that's been a real challenge, I would say.
I think you just coined something, Howard. Blessing and a challenge. That's
Yeah.
that's a new one. I like that. All right. At the end here, we always ask for the 30-second pitch. Why you think StockRover is one of the most innovative companies, and what you guys are doing to win the Benzinga Fintech Awards.
Right, the 30 seconds. Okay, I think the reason we deserve to win is we approach this whole investment area in a very different way. Most people, financial people that write software, we're software people who are experts in software scalable systems and UIs that have an interest in financial, and as a result, I think we developed a platform that is much easier for the user to use and much more powerful and faster, which are attributes that typically don't go into in financial software. The basic financial software is here's a bunch of data, you make sense of it. We're about, let's give you the data in a compact, precise, easy way for you to understand it, and I think as a result, the speed and elegance of the UI makes all the difference.
All right, Howard Reisman, CEO and co-founder of StockRover. Thanks for joining, Howard.
Thank you very much, Kyle. I really enjoyed this. Take care.
All right, go get more information about StockRover and the other 115 companies that applied to show you why they're the most innovative company, trying to help create you wealth through the markets. This is Kyle Bazzi, president here at Benzinga.com. Go check out more, BenzingaFintechAwards.com.